I want to talk to Martyn Iles, who's from the Australian Christian Lobby, because religious discrimination legislation is about to be introduced into New South Wales that's going to give certain carve-outs based off faith. So let's talk about what some of those might be. Martyn, thanks for the chat.
With you.
So put simply, what is your expectation out of the law that's being discussed in New South Wales?
Look, out of both the federal law and the New South Wales law, both of which are promising some kind of protection for religious discrimination, all I really want is something that I can point at and say to people, ordinary folks who might be people of faith or no faith, and they want to say so. I just want to be able to point something out to say, this is going to make a difference in your life. This is something that's going to protect you from cancel culture. This is something that's going to protect you from the activists and the woke mobs and things like that. I just want to be able to do that. And the one thing in the bill that really makes that offering to ordinary folks in the suburbs and towns and cities of Australia is the thing that's under attack, which is the protection in workplaces from effectively getting fired or disciplined for expressing your faith.
So I think this has been neatly titled the Falau Clause, when, for obvious reasons, he invoked his faith on Instagram, and we all know what happened after that. So put simply, what is the type of protection that you want? Because for obvious reasons, you don't want somebody to of any particular faith to hide behind particular biblical or passages from the Quran or anything else to invoke obvious hate. But what are you talking about here where we could land on a form of words?
Well, the technical phrase would be non-vilifying statements of belief. So to protect individuals from being disciplined in the workplace or losing their jobs because they have made non-vilifying statements of belief. So there's obviously a limit. Obviously, you can't vilify someone, you can't be malicious, you can't do that. And there's, well-tested legal protections around vilification in this country, and that can be baked into the Act. But the employers of the people of Australia don't have so much control over them, they don't have so much ownership of them, that they should be able to police what they say in their private lives if what they say doesn't cross that threshold. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. Look, it's a fascinating area, and it's one that has the New South Wales government started that process of trying to find that form of words, because obviously there are votes on the crossbench to get that to take place. Not only, you'd imagine, Mark Latham and One Nation with a couple there, the Christian Democrats as well. There's a pathway with those votes as opposed to just Labor and the Greens.
Yes, there is, and the government in New South Wales are making good noises at the moment. They're delaying a little bit to see what the federal government does. I think Mark Latham's been one of the great champions around this, and we're optimistic, I suppose, that something good will happen. The problem, of course, is that in the media at large, there's been a little bit of chatter around this business that it's a Falau clause and so on, and unfortunately that attaches controversy to it. And so the various party rooms, whether it's at the New South Wales government level or the federal government level, because there's two bills here, one at each level, they are sort of arcing up and saying, oh, this is too controversial. But the point I would want to make is that to protect someone from discrimination in the workplace is normal under any discrimination bill. And it shouldn't be any different under a religious discrimination bill. In fact, if that section is missing, then you don't really have much of a discrimination bill. It doesn't achieve a whole lot of what it's meant to achieve. So it's not controversial. This is a workplace protection issue. And in the federal party room, there's cold feet. I don't understand that when the federal Liberal Party would say that they stand for freedoms more than any of the others. Unfortunately, there's some issues there. We'd love to see those cold feet abated somewhat. And it's the same in New South Wales. There's disagreement over this, which is quite a surprise.
Yeah, well, this is it. There's often sort of, Liberals in name only for some of those things, but we'll see. Yes. Anyway, hopefully some sanity to prevail. Good on you, Martyn. Nice to talk to you. All the best.
Thanks, Paul.